I'm Micah. I wrote a book and self-published it, and it did pretty well on Amazon. Bam, I'll put it right there. I also publish a anthology every year, a horror anthology with a bunch of awesome authors, and it does really well, and it's all for charity. And now I help other people publish books, new authors getting into the self-publishing sphere. I help them do that, and every Friday I get to kick it with my girl and talk about all the awesome things. I like long walks on the beach, and I am 25 years old. Okay. Your turn. Go. We got 2 minutes for an intro.
Okay, Chelsea here. I write books. I like to write dark epic fantasy. I show up on a couple of the anthologies Micah has done. Hopefully this year again. Let's just be honest. I have written The Blood of the Lion, The Mark of the Dam, The Dance of Destiny. Now, The Scars of the Wicked is coming out here. I am just hoping that it all works out. So that being said, I've done a few short stories. I have written a dark kids book that is, I'm not sure if it's kids friendly, let's be honest.
Oh, it's great. It's very kids friendly.
Yeah.
Very kids
and I am a coffee addict and will find any way to drink my coffee. And I like music. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
We have as a guest today the most hated author on Threads, Erin Lee. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate that. I think this is going to be a fun conversation. I know a lot of people are so mad at you right now. So mad. I spent 6 hours. So in lieu of prepping questions and making this an interview, I spent 6 hours yesterday and a full phone battery going through about 14,000 comments on your, or in response to your posts. So I feel very up to speed on what's going on. Here we are. Erin's with us. I appreciate you coming.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't even know how to breach the topic, but the long and short of it is, for anyone who doesn't know, who is watching, Erin is getting ready to release a book or re-release a book. We'll talk about that later too, because even that has caused issues. She's getting ready to release a book. It's about the afterlife. It's about death. There happens to be a scene where an animal is hit by a car. A dog is hit by a car. That's tragic, unfortunate. We see a lot of that. It's a good vehicle for emotion in media, whether it's movies, books, poetry, whatever the case may be, art. The death of an animal is a emotional thing. And that's included in the book, as with many other forms of media. So I don't think there's an issue there. But what caused the outrage, I guess, was a few of Erin's posts talking about that, or about a beta reader that may have brought something up about that. Her post sounded somewhat calloused to some people. Some people responded. She responded back. You know how it goes. But anyways, Erin is here. I hope she's not in a safe house. I hope she hasn't had that many threats. But thanks for coming. Do you want to introduce yourself, or just jump right into the issue? Whatever you want to do.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I'm an indie author. My name is Erin Lee. I'm about to release my first novel. It's called The Dead Aware. And I'm just starting out in the author world. So I'm a nobody in the author's world. I'm just a peon author about to release my first book. And that's pretty much it.
So let's talk about that first, since that's one of the points of contention, although a lesser one, is the fact that the people be putting their PI hats on, their investigation hats. You call this your first book, your first release, your new indie author. Yet, in the investigation of all the people online, they found that you had actually. Was it ever released last year, or did you get it ready for release and never released it? How did that work? Because it looks like it had been released and then you pulled it.
Yeah, I'm a self-published author, so I published my novel on Amazon in 2024, and then I didn't really market it or do anything with it because I didn't feel right about it. I felt pretty insecure about it a few spots in the book, and then I realized I had decided to totally skip getting beta readers, and I thought, okay, that was a big mistake. I need to go back, unpublish the book, get beta readers, and get some honest feedback on my book and then redo it and then republish it. So that's what I did. I got some really good advice. I redid the book. I feel a lot better about it now. And so I'm going to publish it and actually market it. And I figured, since I am just starting out as an author, nobody knows my book. Nobody knows me in the author world. I can, put it out and start marketing it. And it is my first novel and it is just being, republished, but I didn't really think that was a big deal. I could understand if I was like Frida McFadden and trying to do something like that, people would be like, no, you published it last year. And if I had a million readers, but I didn't think that was a big deal.
And I don't either. I don't think it is. I think it's a game of semantics to a point. Also, I think that, once you are in the crosshairs, then anything that is amiss or askew will automatically become, tenfold more interesting or more damning. Anything when you're in the crosshairs, anything that they can find, or anything that anybody can find to pile onto it, they will. So yes, it was published. It was self-published. You removed it. You're preparing to republish it in your thinking. It's really first published because the first time was more of a a trial period. I don't know, call it a test run, whatever. So republishing it, yes, I think that is the correct term that most people would want to hear in digging back to it. But in your eyes, it's still your first book. You're publishing it now after taking the time to polish it and that kind of thing. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out there in the air first. So I guess let's go ahead and get into the main deal, right? So I tried to find what was the genesis of it all. What was it the first post about the beta reader and saying that you needed a trigger warning? Was that the first post that got this all started?
Oh, it was the post about how I said dogs didn't have little moons orbiting around them. That was the post that got all the attention and hate.
Okay, so can you repeat that post verbatim? If not, I can find it.
I said that I killed a dog in my book and I said there wasn't an afterlife. And then I was just talking about my writing process and how I've been getting feedback from people and I'm paying attention to what people are saying. And so it's like, okay, a dog gets killed in my book and there's no afterlife because my book is about the afterlife of death. A bunch of people die, a dog dies. And I'm talking to people about it and I'm talking to a beta reader and she says her one question to me was, does a dog die in your book? And because she says she goes and checks a website to see if dogs die. And then I watched a YouTube writing advice video and it says you need to be really careful with animals because they can play massive roles in books. And I thought, oh, that is so true. I didn't even think of that. And then I'm thinking of all these times that animals have roles in books. And then I'm on a dating app and I'm talking to a guy and I'm telling him about my book and he's saying it's a hard pass because of a dog died. And so that's what led to me saying, damn, people, dog culture is dire. It's like they're a great pet, but you act like they're having little moons orbiting them. Chill. And then that's what started everything. That's what got like over 10,000 hate comments and
Right. It's got a lot. I've got it here. I'll read it. I'll put it up.
Okay.
I killed a dog in my book. Said there's no afterlife. Then I watched a writing video that said pets can have big roles in books, so be careful. And a beta reader asked me if a dog died and said she checks the site with a list of books to avoid. Then a dating app guy said my afterlife rule was a hard pass and dipped. Damn people, dog culture is dire. They're a great pet, but stop acting like they have little moons orbiting them. Your behavior is raising our vet bill. They are not a child. Chill. Okay. So I get it. I get it. I think, it was aggressively stated, right? Maybe not to you because I think everyone has their beliefs, has their opinions, has their thoughts on certain things. If they said it out loud, a million people would come for them. That's just nature. That's also the beauty of who we are, is because we're all different. We all have our own beliefs and our own ideas, and it can all come together. We can all coexist and co-function. That's what it is to be human. So I see where that came off strong. So there is the heart of the topic. When you said this, man, oh man, the floodgates just opened. And so like you said, you are just starting out. You don't have any kind of name for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what 300 followers or something like that, right? And so 700 now on Threads. Did your thread count jump up after this?
Maybe like 50 people.
Okay, yeah. So it's not much.
Yeah.
But so yeah, 600, 700 on Threads. I mean, that's more than I have. Whatever. But and of course I'm a nobody. Ain't nobody know my name. So but of course I haven't pissed off half the community of Threads. So anyways, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on it? Do you feel that let me ask you this. Do you feel that with all of take out all the hate, because I did see I saw even some veiled threats. So take all that out, because that's bogus. Take the hate out. That's bogus. That is threats and hate is what we talk about when we talk about mob mentality. That's something I can't stand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's no place for it. There is zero place for it. I will say that there is zero place for hate, and there is zero place for threats anywhere. Period. Full stop. So let's throw those out. Let's take the legitimate, and I would say 70 to 80% of the comments, as I was reading them, a lot of them were repetitive, but a lot, 70 to 80% of them, maybe even close to 90%, are legitimately saying, like they started out, oh, you unalived this dog, blah, blah, blah. Then, of course, when that kind of sank, because hello, we talked about that in the beginning. That's a huge vehicle for emotion in storytelling.
Yeah.
So if you're going to hate on everybody that's unalived a dog, you can go kick rocks, because half the, I would say thousands, hundreds of thousands of media properties have used that vehicle.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we can toss that one out the window. So toss the hate out the window, toss the threats out the window, toss the you unalived a dog out the window. We're left with, and this is what the big 80 to 90% of people were saying, is that it's not about you unaliving the dog. It's about your response, your calloused response. And I don't know whether if it's we call it calloused, or we would just call it sticking to your guns, but doubling and tripling down on it. Do you feel after all this that maybe you have, and maybe even talking with me and Chelsea, how Chelsea and I might have that disagreement or whatever, do you feel that there is room to, if not apologize, to acknowledge that maybe you might have come on too strong? Or do you feel that you are 100% okay with everything that's happened, and everybody else is wrong? Is that too hard of a question to ask and answer?
No, I don't think I did anything wrong, though. I mean, I think I was blunt, yeah. But I'm just yapping on Threads. I'm just a little peon author talking about my experiences becoming a writer. I don't think I said anything wrong. I think people, they really want the narrative to be that I did some dreadful career-ending thing because they want to watch somebody fail. Because it's hard to be a writer, and a lot of writers are not where they think they want to be. And if they can watch somebody fall on their face, that's very satisfying to them.
I will agree with you to a small point. I will also disagree. I do know people in the writing community that do not want others to succeed. But those people, and Chelsea, chime in when you can, because I think that most of the people in the community are very supportive.
Yes.
Most people. Now, I have a couple people. People I'm even friends with who I just know hate that, like, that my book has done well, and that when, like, they hate that I'm doing the singing blade. It makes them jelly or whatever. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But I know they're there. So I know that there are a small contingent of people that do feel jealousy and do want to see other people fail. I don't think that's the case with yours. Again, you can speak to this. Chelsea, speak to this. I think the case with yours is not so much that they want to see you fail, but that you pissed so many people off that you have become a villain. And I will give you this point. The internet loves a villain.
Yes.
The internet they love a villain. Who doesn't love a villain, right? But I think that's a big point right now is because you became the villain. But I will also say, I think you made yourself the villain. And again, like I said, I'm not attacking you. This is
No, I
a
know.
straight up conversation.
Yeah.
You can come back anytime you want. I think you made yourself a villain by doubling and tripling down after the bluntness. Just you have to know that, and I'm not saying you have to know. I'm speaking one must know that in the social media sphere, you are not dealing with everyone who is on the same page as you. So you have to have that. I hate the word empathy most of the time. Compassion, sympathy, empathy might be the right word. I don't know. You have to understand that you're not the only one in that sphere, and everyone else has a million different ideas and thoughts and feelings and experiences. And whereas you don't have to empathize or sympathize with those experiences or feelings, I think that having a open mind and even an open heart to a point to, if not understand, then at least accept those. I think that is what is needed in that social media sphere to make it a fully functioning community. Which Threads is a very, I don't know if tight community is the right word, but it's a community. It's a big community, lots of people, lots of different ideas. So I think
Okay.
that's where it went wrong. Either one you want to talk to that. Either one decide who wants to talk to that.
Erin, all you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. People say that I'm doing it for rage bait or something. It's like, no, I was just talking. I'm a small author on Threads. I get like maybe 10 likes a post. I was not trying to do any kind of rage bait or marketing stunt or anything. I was just talking. I am blunt. I can be blunt. I can be honest to a fault, but I can be irreverent and obnoxious in a lighthearted way, but that's just my personality. And if somebody is offended by that post, it's like, I wouldn't really want them to be in my life in any way, not personally, not professionally, not as a partner. I need to have people in my life that have a sense of humor and they can, and people were saying that I was doubling down on the post and just like repeating it over and over. And I wasn't trying to double down on anything, but I saw people getting really offended and I was getting hate comments and apparently death threats and like, get the fuck out of the state, you used up ugly,
I did
like
see that one.
the most
I did see that
hateful,
one.
nasty messages. And so I thought, oh, wait, what? Do people think I said something I didn't say? Like, no, you guys, all I said was a dog in my book. And I think that pet owners need to chill and pets are pets, not children. That's all I said, you guys. And then I thought, oh, they are still offended. That's what they found offensive. And they think that I'm being condescending and rude. And it's like, I'm not, I really don't feel like I was rude. I don't know what else to say to that. I don't know.
I think that it's a tact thing. Again, being in social media, I will say this though, if you, because it was something you said there, if you are writing just for you and for those people in your circle, then that's fine to to ostracize a large percentage of the reading community. That's totally fine. I like with, again, like if I had a personal stance, if I only wanted people reading my book that agreed with that personal stance, then I would say it and stick to it, right? Because then I know I only want these kind of people. I want to ostracize all these other kind of people. But my book, Urban Legends, was written for everyone, for anyone who likes good stories or wants to know where legends were born. That's I don't want to ostracize anybody from that, whether I agree with them on any level or not. Check the book out. You'll like it. I promise you'll like it. That was my mindset. I don't want to ostracize anybody from that. With the Singing Blade coming out, it is a beautiful, tragic love story fantasy that I think stands the test of time in its elements. I don't want to keep that from anybody. I want everybody. But if I were to come out and, I don't know, pick whatever topic, and say, this is my hard stance on this topic. Oh, you don't like it? Go kick rocks. I don't need you reading my book. That does me no favors. That does my book no favors. And it does that person no favors. All it does is create a barrier and create strife. So if you're,
Yeah.
please go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, I wasn't telling anybody to kick rocks. I wasn't saying you don't like my opinion, f off. Or can I
Yeah,
cuss
I'll
on
cut it
here?
out. Yep.
Oh, well, then I won't if you're going to cut it out. I
No,
can, I
I'll just
just,
bleep. I'll
but
just bleep
I mean, I
the.
wasn't telling
I'll just
anybody to.
bleep the word. I'll keep all the context, and I'll just bleep the actual word. Do whatever's
Okay.
comfortable. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I wasn't telling anybody to kick rocks. I'm just saying I'm a dark psychological writer, fiction writer. I write kind of horror novels. They're pretty dark. They talk about death and the afterlife a lot. So it's like I do have a certain type of reader. You have to be a person that likes dark, creepy things. And if you're very easily offended by a dog dying, or if you think that what I said was rude, then I would assume that you're probably not going to be a reader of mine. That's all I
Right.
was saying. It's like if you are that upset about the post, it's like I'm not telling you to go away. I'm just saying I genuinely don't feel like my book would be for you because I'm afraid it's like I feel like I said way more offensive things in my book.
Well, the
So it's
problem
like
is
I don't want you reading it.
not how you say them. And this is again, I'm not speaking directly to you. I'm speaking to one. I'm speaking to all. The problem is not necessarily all the time how one says something, but it's how it's received. Right. And even if you can't control that, or even if one can't control that, that is still the narrative that is played off of that. That is, we can go back and forth on that, but I think we understand, your intentions in what you said could be one thing, but the way they were received could be another. And then you trying to clarify your intentions could be for you a clarifying statement and could be received by these people that are offended as doubling down and then tripling down, right? So it's just this continual clash of you versus them. And is there a way, in your opinion, is there a way to fix this, to find some commonality, or would you just prefer that all of those people who are angry with you right now just bounce and you can start fresh without that?
Um, I just, well, it's like I see people, so many people in the writing industry are saying, like, Erin, it's time to step away from social media. This is a career ender. It's time to step away. And it's like they're trying to make the narrative that this is something disastrous and horrifying and career ending. And I think objectively it's not. And the fact that they're trying to make me feel like I've done something wrong or I should be ashamed, it's like they're just trying to feed on me. They're just trying to make it this horrific situation they just want to see me. That's what they want the narrative to be. And it's like I don't even know. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I don't think I did anything wrong. I really don't. I can like I'm blunt. I can be honest about things. And if you don't want to be around that, I understand. If you don't want to read my book, that's okay. I hope you read my book. I really hope you like my book. I've been working on it for like 4 years. But I was like, I don't know what to say other than that. I'm not. People are acting like I beat a dog to death and it was like caught on camera. They're acting like they found on my computer. That's the way people are treating me. It's like, this is not that big of a deal. It's really not. I'm not going to
Right.
I'm not going to apologize when I don't feel like I've done anything wrong.
Right. And Chelsea, I'll let you talk because I know I spoke for a ton, and then Erin came in and spoke. So I'll let you talk in a minute. I do want to say I am as against compelled speech and forced apology as one can get. If I hurt someone doing the right thing, or at least doing what I thought was right, or I at least had I understood that what I did was good or what was right. I stand behind it. I wouldn't apologize for doing that thing, but I would 100% apologize for hurting that person.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah.
That is where I stand. If I do something to hurt you, but I feel that what I did was right, and there happened to be this pain caused by it, I'm not going to apologize for what I did if that is the right thing, or if that is what was supposed to be done. But if I hurt you, I'm apologizing, and I'm going to make that right, and I'm going to do whatever I can. But if I do something to hurt somebody, I'm going to apologize to them for that pain. Absolutely 100% can, and I think should. try to make amends, try to make things right, try to apologize for the pain or miscommunication or things involved. Again, million times saying it, that is only my thought. It is not directed specifically at you. It is how I look at the
Mm.
situation. Erin, before you come in on that, Chelsea, you haven't spoken in a minute. So do you want to speak to that at all? I'm just going to wipe my sweaty face because it's a million degrees in here. So
No, so I'm not gonna go off because Micah said it all very well, but I think whatever we say and do, we are accountable for. And those have real world impacts on people all over the world. I think one lesson I've learned is exactly that, being in the author community, is anything I say could come across as very traumatic or rude or disrespectful, or everything you do, everything you say and do has, you are accountable for. Everybody. I'm not talking you. I'm saying one and all. Everything I do, I'm accountable for. A story I share on my Instagram stories, is it going to leave an impression on somebody that could come across as offensive or disrespectful? I'm much more aware of that stuff just because I think the empath in me is very aware of how people can react. And that doesn't say don't stand up for your rights, right? Like everybody in this world could say the same thing because we all have really strong opinions on things. And so, that being said, we are accountable for what we say and what we do when we are sharing on a public or social platform, because real people are looking at that all over the world and they can be impacted by those things, whether real or I'm sorry, whether extremely positive or extremely negatively. I mean, we don't know people's stories. And so having that awareness is what influences at least my sharing and what I state and what I share, what I'm posting out there. So yeah, I think that's what I think that's where I come in, is the empath in me is very aware of how other people are. I don't know their stories. I don't know if they were homeless and they rescued a chipmunk on the side of the street, and this chipmunk was hurt and it gave them purpose, and that saved their life. I mean, I don't know.
it sounds like a short story, Chelsea.
It does sound like a short
Yeah,
story.
yeah. I
Autumn
think
Tales, anybody?
yeah,
Chelsea
you
has
should get right.
time.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I did have one question though. If you were able to take the post back where nobody ever saw it, rewind 5 or 6 days, would you? Not being compelled by anybody,
No,
you wouldn't. Okay, okay.
no.
That was
Mm-mm.
a serious question. I'm very. That's an
Yeah.
interesting response. Yeah, that's very interesting. So why wouldn't you take it back? What do you feel that you have gained something from this, or do you feel that? Uh,
No.
yeah, do you just feel that you
No,
did what
it's
you did, and that's that?
yeah, I mean, I'm just doing my thing. I'm just writing books, and I can be blunt, I can be really irreverent. I have a twisted sense of humor. That's how I talk to my friends, and that's how they talk to me. I mean, we do crass, insults as terms of endearment, and that's just how I am, and that's how I talk. I totally understand that's not for everybody. I'm not trying to like force that in people's faces, but it's like I genuinely did not say anything telling pet owners to chill. I don't see how that's hurtful.
Right. No,
It's
I
like
agree. I agree.
you're treating your pet like it's a child, it's a pet, chill. Like that's not anything.
Yeah, I don't think hurtful. I don't even think offensive. I think it's curt, it's blunt, or
Yeah.
it could be taken that way, right? I think that would be the cause.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. Yeah.
So let me ask you this: are you more interested in? And I kind of would get it if this is the case. Are you more interested in carving a niche for yourself within or creating a community of like-minded people like yourself, and that is who you would prefer to cater to and to speak to, and that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. Yeah.
I am starving. I am starving to death in today's culture. It's like there's no more irreverence, there's no twisted humor, there's no just people being genuine. I just feel like I'm starving to death, and we really need people. But it's like I understand why. Look what happens when you take off the template personality and you're just yourself.
Right.
Look how badly you get
Yeah.
attacked. Like you should see some of the comments I've gotten in like private messages.
Yeah.
And then you go to their profile and they're talking about how they have a growth mindset and how they're like love and into kindness and empathy, and they're calling me a in the private messages.
Right. No, I agree with you. I think that, that happened in the stand-up community sphere a while ago, and I think it's taken over. It has taken over that you can't be yourself because that is offensive. So you have to be part of a whole, but that whole is a whole of individualism. But that's counterintuitive because there's no individuals allowed in the whole. Because if you are outside of that whole, then you're automatically offensive. I understand that. I get that 100%. It's not my hill to die on. It's not my hill to die on, I guess, would be the point for me. But in your case, you see yourself wanting to champion this, or wanting or being a hill to die on.
I'm not trying to die on any hill.
True, right.
I mean, I'm not trying to do anything. It's like, I just think there needs to be some kind, authors need to be honest again. We need honest writing. I read a lot. I see even my favorite authors, it's like they've become so careful and politically correct, and it's just killing me. It's like, I'm trying to escape this world into a really good story. It's one of my favorite things about life. And I can't even do that. Your book is keeping me in this world because you're so careful. It's like, I'm just trying to write the stories that I really, really miss.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. There's things I agree with you on. There's things I disagree with you on. I hate political correctness. I hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I'm a child of the 90s. Man, we had fun in the 90s. There was no political correctness in the 90s. But you know what? I also grew up with zero hate. I had gay friends, I had Asian friends, I had black friends. We were all together all the time. We never saw any of us as a whole. We saw each of us as individuals, but that was beauty. And that's how it was, and that's how I've grown up since then. Do you feel at all that I or Chelsea attack you in any way? Because I would be heartbroken if you do.
No, you guys are great. I really thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. Of course, I mean, that's okay if people disagree with me or whatever. That's fine.
Most people will come on here and probably hate that we even had you on. So Chelsea was like, should we really do this? Should we actually really do this?
It's the truth.
Right. No, she was.
Yeah.
I was like, no, let's just freaking do
I'm
it.
a pariah.
Yeah, right. But I think it's good information. Do you want to? I will open the floor if you want to say anything. You're free to do so, and then we'll go ahead and close it out.
I don't think so. I think you asked some really great questions. I think I covered everything. You covered everything.
Awesome, sweet. Chelsea, do you want to say anything?
No.
Okay. Now it is just us.
I'm sorry. Her lack of it's not the dog thing at all anymore.
No, not at all. Not at all.
It's the complete lack of accountability. I was like, that's why I brought up, like, we are accountable for what we say and we do. Like, we have real impact on people.
Yeah, I wanted to come out in the end with a good. Do I have dry skin on my nose? Have I had that the whole time?
I don't see it. I never saw it.
Yeah, that bums me out. People probably think I got a boogie. I don't have boogies, y'all.
No.
It's dry skin.
Literally, no, I didn't see anything.
It looks like it. Anyways, I really wanted to come out cheering for her. I really, really did, because that's my nature. People know that. People know that. I want to champion people. I'm hard pressed to do so. I can't do it.
It was the lack of accountability for me.
It was. There is a lack of accountability there. There is a lack of understanding. It was the utter sheer unwillingness to even come close to seeing the other side.
That's my problem. I'm like, dude, there are people that, like, I knew like that dictator parents, that's a real story.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I've seen the impact animals have on people.
Right.
And so it's like, to not even take a step back and be like, my gosh, there are people out there that their lives have been changed from interactions with animals.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, I totally agree. I don't.
Yeah.
Man, oh man. Yeah, that put me in a different place. It really did.
I was like, I only spoke when you called on me because I was like,
Yeah,
I've got nothing to say this
yeah, 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 yeah.
chick.
No, I did. I did well navigating and directing the.
You did. You did.
I hope so. I because my intent, my goal. I told her this. I kept the receipts. I'll show anybody else who wants to see them. In our conversations on Instagram, I said I'm not going to attack you. I'm not going to do it. At the same time, I'm not going to take your side. Because I don't think your side is necessarily the right side, nor do I think
Yeah.
bullying and threats and take because some people on her on that massive thread was
Oh,
saying, this isn't bullying, this is telling you what's up. I agree with that to a point, but if you ever went through every once in a while, you would see some darn nasty comments. There's no
yeah.
place for that. There's no place for that. Period. I don't care. There's no place for that. There's no place for threats.
No.
But like I said, up to 90% of those comments were legit, and to not be able to see, and again, I don't want her to feel compelled. I want her to understand.
Right. To
Right,
wake up in the middle of the night and go, I freaking get it.
right, right,
That's
and
it.
not even to change your point. If that's your point, that's your point. But
But
to
to
say,
acknowledge
guys,
the other side.
right, I'm sorry. You know, I shouldn't. I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't have said this. This isn't the place for it. Social media isn't the place for me to say this particular uh, position I hold on
Well,
this.
it's like politics. It's like religion. It's like
Yeah.
switch the dog thing and her make a statement about my
Oh,
gosh,
anything. Yeah.
any religion.
Trump, Biden,
Yeah,
whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't
any
matter.
religion and being
Yeah.
like and saying nasty things or dismissing the other
Right.
side,
Right.
people are going to come after you.
Yeah.
It's like,
So it's
but
just
you won't take a second to be like, that's their side.
right. Anyways, long story short, I hope y'all enjoyed that. I hope everyone is able to get something out of that, understand where all the discourse is happening. I understand more now. I
Is
understand
this
more
all
now.
going to be published?
I don't think I'm going to cut anything.
At the end of the day, and this is a hill I will die on,
Mhm.
is that we are accountable for everything we say and we do, and we have real world impacts on
For
people.
sure. Yeah.
And I don't care what your opinion is, but stand on it. But have an awareness that somebody else might disagree with you because they have real world experiences
Yeah.
that influence a different opinion than yours.
Yeah.
And you have no right to sit there and say they're wrong or they need to chill.
Right. Right.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
Is like just have an awareness that you do have social media platforms, mega public platforms that allow millions of people all over the world to communicate. And with that comes the power of responsibility.
Yeah.
Everything you say and do is reflected back on you by how the public reacts. And if you have 10,000 comments with 10,000 people and minus the extremes, right, that we
Right.
talked about,
Right.
that are saying, "Hey, this isn't sitting right." Maybe it's because it isn't right and it's not sitting right and you didn't deliver it right. It's not
Right.
saying your opinion is invalid.
Right.
It's saying you delivered it in such a way that you disrespected a lot of people's life experiences.
Yeah.
And that lack of accountability and not wanting to reflect on that and not looking at not waking up at 2 a.m. because I have made fun comments that I wake up at 2 a.m. and start thinking about going, "My God, I hope that didn't come across wrong."
Right.
Because you don't know somebody's situation. They don't know where they are in their life. You don't know if that one comment was a breaking point for them where they emotionally were like, maybe I need to step away or maybe I need to stop writing or, whatever it is, something that they put aside those dreams because they don't have the emotional capability to keep going with that because
Right.
of one comment they might have seen. You don't know. So it's like
Right.
having that awareness that there are people that are being impacted by your comments, statements. It doesn't matter if they know you or not. It's the what are when they're scrolling, what do they stumble on?
Right.
And that's like have an awareness for that. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
It's not nobody's right or wrong. It's have an awareness that there are millions of people who are dealing with real world things and can be influenced by statements that they come across.
Yeah, I agree. And also, um, have an awareness of social media in general. You know, I why post it? Why post it in the first place? I don't know.
Truly, and she said so herself. She's very blunt. I get the
Right.
impression that she's very cynical,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with that. I
No,
live in a household with very sarcastic, cynical, dark-humored individuals.
yeah.
That's, I mean, things that we say at this house. It's a crack up, but it's not everybody's cup of tea. But
You wouldn't post the whole, right.
I
Right.
would never bring that forward and
Right.
post it because I know, and you said it yourself. Certain statements come across as very wrong.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if they're right or wrong.
Right.
There's a time and a place for that.
Right.
And there's a group of people that are meant for that. And that's where it's like her statement about the dog and the one you read, that was a statement meant for the group of people who understood her
Right.
humor, her cynicism, all of that.
In the
There's a
same in the same breath, could it have been a statement for the group of people that it was meant to chide? Right?
possibly,
Right?
absolutely.
Because when I asked her, this blew my mind. When I asked her if she was wanting to carve out a niche where her readers and her engagement is just with this certain group that has this certain mindset, she said yes. Wow, you're pigeonholing yourself there.
Congratulations, you have 1% of the readership in the entire world
Right,
now,
right. What?
and
So
you won't see the rest.
Also, can you tell my energy level and how drained I am?
Honestly, so that was so funny you say that because I had an out of body experience. We were like 40 minutes in, and I was like, wow, this is an exhausting one. And I
Yeah,
haven't said 3 words. And
my
I'm like,
yeah.
I can only like, you must be exhausted.
I it just hit me like 10 minutes ago, but maybe a few minutes after we let her go. Like I am so mentally drained just keeping that level of positivity and trying to get understanding and get points across while not attacking and not I'm drained. Like I'm mentally drained right now. Like I don't even have the energy to like influx my voice or whatever. Like I'm,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'm exhausted. Okay, here's something that did rub me the wrong way. Is
Tell
her,
me.
and you may have gotten this too. Her fallback was, and I think she said it 3 or 4 times. I'm just a small author. I'm just starting
Yeah,
out.
F you,
I'm
dude. I'm
right,
sorry.
right,
I'm a
right.
small author.
Right.
You're a small
There
author.
is there
You
is
have real world impact.
there is dry skin on my nose, and it looks like boogers. Chelsea, you lied
I
to me.
don't see it
You
at all
lied
from
to me.
here.
Anyways, yeah, that rubbed me the wrong way. That is not a it's not an excuse for any behavior. And again, I'm not damning her behavior. I'm damning the after behavior. I think I can come to at this point. The post behavior, not the post, but yeah, get out of here. Anyways, but yeah, that where she kept falling back on that. I'm just a small author trying to make it. She definitely threw the shield up of victim mentality.
I
And
know,
as
which I
and as much as you know me, everyone who watches knows me. As much as I hate, threats, violence, mob mentality, cancel culture, I hate victim mentality. I
yeah.
hate. I cannot stand it. I will not suffer it. I don't like it. And I was getting that vibe like every if there was a response that would have required a acknowledgement of responsibility, it was, well, I'm just a small author that nobody knows. Well, no, you're wrong. A lot of people know you now,
A
and
lot
they
of people know you.
and they know you for the wrong reason. Is
And
this?
are you really okay with that? I wanted to ask, and I just wasn't sure how to even begin to word it. And she kind of dug her own hole with some of the statements she did. So I was just kind of like, maybe I don't, you know,
Yeah,
but, and, maybe I should have asked. The question that was on my mind was, you somehow didn't know about some of the hate statements, the hate comments and stuff like that. When she deflected when you were making a comment about going through all the comments and stuff like that, and
Mhm.
she was just like, "Oh yeah, I didn't really look at that." But then she was very detailed in some of her other discussions about the similar comments and replies and statements, and very detailed.
Yeah.
And my question was, have you read them? Or are you deflecting and saying, I haven't read them because I'm trying to feign ignorance and continue to stand for the statement that I made, because I don't want to have to face the
Right.
responsibility?
Right.
Or
And,
did you
there
read
was a
them and
part
you're loving it?
there was a part where she said, I can't remember verbatim what she said, but she said when she was talking about the vulgarity and
The
the
death threats and
threats,
stuff?
things like that. She said something like supposed death threats or something.
Yeah.
I was like, no, there's no supposed. No, it's either there are or there aren't. Now,
Yeah.
I did see some veiled threats on, but we don't have access to her DMs. I'm sure her DMs are lit up. Her private
Yeah.
messages are lit up, and I'm sure they are much worse than what's on there. And for the most part, the comments are not bad, and that's what I kept wanting
That
to.
they're not. I looked
Right.
now, you did 6 hours of
Yeah.
comment research.
Yeah.
I did an hour.
Yeah.
So I can't even come close.
Yeah. I went
But
through a whole phone. I went through a whole phone battery. Doing
yeah.
it. Yeah.
God, did you have popcorn?
And,
I
I
mean,
didn't.
what a commitment. That
Because
is, I respect that.
because what I confessed to last week that I'm dipping again. I had a big old dip in my mouth. So, but that is neither here nor there. But most of the comments are not bad comments. They're passionate. They are all of one accord, and they are all dragging her. But none of that is necessarily bad.
They're not death threats. They're saying, please acknowledge the fact that there is a completely other side of this community of animal
Yeah.
lovers.
And
That,
there was the one every once in a while, like, wow,
of
you're a
course,
stupid idiot, wow, you're stupid, hang it up. There's that
yeah,
kind of stuff. I consider that maybe bullying, because it's in such a large scale. Um, but whatever. Again, this is the internet. This is social media. This is going to happen,
yeah.
right? I can't get over how gassed I am from that conversation mentally.
I'm
I
gassed. I didn't say 3 words.
And
I mean, I said like,
you didn't hardly talk. I had to drive that whole thing.
you
And
did, because I told you, I said, I don't think I can handle this. I
right.
don't think I can deliver it as elegantly as you could,
Yeah.
because as some of the things she said, as a hardcore animal lover and
Yeah.
who has hinted to, I've had very powerful experiences with animals where it's just like it was really life changing for me. And
Yeah.
I'm not even going to sit here and say we're not going to talk about the families or anything like that, because that's a completely different topic
Right.
altogether. But
Right.
like animals themselves, to just dismiss that, like, and dismiss animal lovers, and
Right.
like I'm sitting here with a dog sleeping next to me
Right.
who comes in squeaking and is
It's
like,
like
because she loves me unconditionally, and
if
like I
that's
would give
your
her the world,
if that's
you
your
know.
stance, that's fine, but why put it out there unless you
That's
want
my thing. Eh, thank you. That's my
Yeah.
thing. Unless you are asking for it, do you
Right.
really? Okay, sit down. Sit down. You are.
I'm sitting, man. I'm ready.
We are here.
We're sitting. We're sitting.
You pick up your phone.
Yeah.
You're like,
Got it.
I have been posting about, basic things, my, art, or, about my book, or, I'm really excited. Here's my experiences that influenced my book, blah, blah,
Done.
blah.
Yep. Got it.
Yep, yep. And then I suddenly think,
Let's
I
piss
think I'm going to,
out of everybody.
yeah, I'm going to post this extremely like conflicting, volatile statement that is very one sided.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to hit send and then turn my head away and be like, what do you mean it got so much attention?
Right.
And you didn't, when you were sitting there hovering over that post button, you didn't think for 1 second this could have massive consequences.
Yeah.
And in that thought, this is the defining factor of your character, for anybody. in that one thought when you thought there could be massive consequences to this. One, here's your options. One, you go, good. I cannot wait to see the freaking backlash on this.
Right.
And because I'm going to boost. I'm a small time author, remember?
Right.
So
Right.
I want the attention. I want the publicity. So I'm going to hit post and then feign ignorance. Like, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Or two, I'm going to look at that post and go, man, that might really come across wrong. I don't think I'm going to post that.
Right.
Because I don't want to ostracize the world or
Right.
half the world, and I don't want to piss anybody off because that's not really my game here. So who is it?
Right.
Because I can tell you who I think it was.
Right. Yeah.
And that's my problem.
What a strange interaction. What a strange, because I don't get down with the threads a lot. I should, when
Get down with the sickness.
Right, I do get down with the sickness, but I don't get down with the threads because, and a lot of people say this on different threads, is that threads thrives on emotional baiting and on villainization and things like that. There's a lot of that there, and those are the posts that really skyrocket. And I've got nothing to say to that. Like, what am I going to do? Hey guys, I'm an author.
Exactly.
I wrote 200 words today. Like I don't have much to say. I let my story talk for myself. If I'm on camera, I'll let myself talk for myself. But I'm not going to go out and bait anybody to any kind of. So I don't know. I don't understand the whole culture of that. But dude, I'm drained. Let's go to a different topic. Bottom line, y'all got it here. That might be an exclusive interview. I will say this. I wish her the best because I don't wish anyone negativity or harm. So I wish her the best. That's all I really have to say about it. There's not really much redeeming value that I got out of that. And you can tell by like my even my tone is lower. I don't feel like I have as much like breath in my lungs right now. I just feel deflated.
Yeah, that was I do think, and I'm going to say this, like, I don't even know if this should be public yet, the interview, because there's so much heat around it still.
Yeah.
And so I don't even know so this is why I bring this up. Imagine that she wanted the publicity.
Right.
She just got what she wanted.
Right. Which
That's my problem.
I don't mind it. If that's what she wants, if she wants to play the villain. Of course, I asked her. I don't know if we were recording at that point or not. I asked her. I think we
No,
were.
You did.
But I don't know if we were recording. I
thought we were.
I don't think we were. We'll see when I go into edit. But if we didn't get it, y'all, I asked her when we were just kind of talking in the beginning, do you mind or no? I said, do you want to come out as a villain? I said, because this honestly kind of looks like it's all a game. And she's like, no, I'm just a
soft spoken.
Just real soft spoken. I'm just a nobody author, the blah blah blah. Because I asked her, I was like, if you want to, I will leave everything in, and you can dig your own grave. That was what I was telling her. I was like, I will just, which I think I'm going to leave it in anyways. I'm going to leave everything in. The only thing I'll take out are things that that should not be public. Which I don't even know if there's anything in there like that. But I will any interview I have, I will never purposefully negatively affect someone. I won't do it. That's not
no, because it's called being human,
right?
Knowing that you have impact on somebody else's life.
I don't play on negatives, right? Let's get on a different topic. Thank you all for checking out. We're gonna hang out and have a little fun talk. Maybe 15 minutes. Just have a fun talk. Chelsea, how the is your writing going? How's it going?
Oh, this week is a little bit slower. Unfortunately, work is working. And so I'm a little bit sad about that because I'm like, how dare thee? Right. So I have been doing some work or writing now. I am over 17,000, maybe I'm 17,500 words into book 5 on Syra's storyline.
Excellent.
Which I'm very excited about. And I know, okay, so a few episodes back, we talked about the building romance and doing it right. Mm-hmm. And man, I got to tell you, I have really taken time to lay out a lot of Easter egg groundworks. And the irony in all of this is that I laid all that groundwork out in book 4 without
Mm.
realizing it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I started reflecting this week and I was like, oh my God, what did I do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I realized all those basics were there in book 4, and now I'm just kind of really building them up in the first part of book 5, which has been a lot of fun.
Sweet.
Yeah, so I'm letting it develop naturally
Yeah.
and hoping to at least give it justice, because I don't know if I said it. I have said it. I'm terrified to write romance.
Yeah.
And that's just because I've never done it before. I've never even thought about it. I've never been like, I want these two characters to get together and this is the happy ever after. You
Right.
know,
Right.
I just wanted to tell a story.
Is there
Um,
is there even a possibility of a happy ever after in your world?
I don't know, because I don't know
You
the
don't
ending.
know. That's true. You
I
don't know.
don't know.
Right.
I don't know the ending, and I'm like I started outlining book 6 for Syra's storyline because, and literally, this is because of you, Micah. Like,
Darn right it
the
is.
intensity in which you have outlined has inspired me,
It
and
works, doesn't it? Is
it
it not?
works.
It's a game changer, isn't it?
It
It
is, and
is.
that, I'm not gonna say like my standalones, like
Yeah.
the query project. I don't think I outlined a single thing in that. Like, I just had
Wow.
this vision in this storyline. I saw the points in my head because
Yeah.
it follows this one character, and I just went at it, you know? Um, Now, should I outline in the future? Yeah, I should do a little bit more
Yeah.
details. The Dragon of Dread Deep, that standalone, I did some basic outlining, but I let the story flourish on its own.
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to sit here and be like I'm a hardcore like planner all the way through. But with this saga, having outlined in detail Syra's storyline in book 5 and then all the way up to chapter 17 in book 6, I was like, this is life changing.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Awesome.
holy crap, because there's so many moving elements and, subplots and
Yeah.
key moments that I'm like, I multicolored pens. I have 4 giant notebooks sitting over here, by the way,
Awesome.
which is like insanity. Now, I said that about the standalone with the Dragon of Dread Deep, and I'm going to say it here now, but I have secretly started outlining another standalone,
Yes.
which, okay, I kind of said that in the
You
Discord.
said that in Discord. Yeah.
But so the thing is, though, is I am going to do a hardcore outline on it because
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to touch it until next January.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, but I've seen this story in my head. Actually, I started a draft on it like a year ago, and then never I on no outline at all. So
Yeah.
I got to like 12,000 words in and I was like, okay, I'm not 100% sure of the direction. I'll just go write book 4.
Right.
And
Right.
then I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, I think I need to outline this.
Yeah.
Then it's taking on a completely different shape. So very, very exciting. So
That's
yes,
awesome.
the outlining process has been inspired by Micah,
Good.
and
Good. I'm glad.
honestly, life changing with
Awesome.
multicolored pens. And I
Awesome.
have to go get more notebooks. So
Dude, more notebooks is always always fun. I freaking love notebooks, man.
I love them. I
Oh my
love the big ones with the,
yeah.
the folders in between, because then I like split up characters by that,
So good.
or I'll split up like standalones, like
Yeah.
or ideas and stuff. And so
Now, let me ask you. I think I've asked you this before, so if I have, just forgive me. But when you write, so say Syra has like 19 chapters in this book. Do you write all 19 of those, and then you skip to the next and write all of his, and then you skip to the next, write all of his? Or
no.
do you go back and forth as it fits the story?
So it depends on the character who's speaking to me the most.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
I will outline everybody's storyline prior to starting to write.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
should, right?
Yeah.
A couple of times I didn't.
Yeah.
And that's because sometimes these key elements are starting to overlap, especially as we're deeper in the saga. And so I have to be really careful with like, okay, when is this being outlined? Because in Syra's chapter, on chapter 16, this happens. And where is it going to fall in the structure, the manuscript structure?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but when I go to write it, sometimes I'll be like, I'm in a hardcore Syra mood. Like right now, hardcore Syra mood.
Yeah.
Like I've written I'm in chapter 4 right now, and as far as I know, in my head, I'm going to keep going until I'm no longer in the mood to write Syra.
Yeah.
And then I'll jump over to Cyrus or Morai, and then just keep going until one of them says, "Nah, I'm done."
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all mood based.
That's cool. That's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have asked that before, haven't I?
I have no idea.
No. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea. We talk so much and we say so many different
I
things
know.
that
I know it's crazy. And then
shoot.
like all through the week, it's so funny. 'Cause I was trying to show one of my friends your sketch that you commissioned for your piece of art. And I was like,
Yes.
oh yeah, it's only a couple days ago. So I was scrolling back, scrolling back, scrolling back, scrolling. It was like 500 pages back. It was only like 2 days ago. I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it's
god.
crazy. It is crazy.
Okay, Aspen.
Hey, if you don't stop, Aspen, we're gonna send stick Erin on you.
Dude, I was gonna say that, and then I was like, should I?
Why not, man?
Oh my god. I was gonna be like, well, I know where I can put you.
Right.
Aspen. Speaking of though, I am semi behind on my outlines or my edits.
I was wondering because you've been doing so much other stuff lately. So,
Well, this week just kicked my butt.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you have those weeks where you're like,
Oh, yeah.
dude, is it Gladiator week?
Dude,
Like,
that was me
what
last
happened?
week. Yeah, that was me last week, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is absolutely crazy this week. I mean, it is Thursday, and I'm like sitting here and I'm like, can it be Friday? Like, confession between everybody here, I will not be working tomorrow. Like, I will sign on and I will move my mouse, but you bet there is not a thing that will be done unless it is urgent.
Unless it's a fire you have to put out.
Yeah, but like tomorrow night and Saturday morning, I have a hot date with my edits to catch up.
Nice.
It's going to be great. I'm going to have just music, coffee, maybe a drink because it'll be Friday night. What am I saying to myself?
Yep, do it.
Probably a White Russian.
Yep.
And it'll be me and my edits.
Why it can't be a Black Russian?
Because I love the cream in the White Russian.
All right, I you know what? If you say something,
I'm a coward.
if you say something like I like the cream in a White Russian, and I don't respond with something filthy, you know I'm exhausted.
Honestly, my immediate reaction when I said that was like, Micah has to say something.
Yeah.
And you didn't say something.
And
now my heart is broken.
Yeah, that's how exhausted I am. I'm so exhausted, man. I'm gassed. I just that interview or whatever it was, conversation just floored me.
I don't even know what that was, to be honest with you.
No,
I was but you have to tell me where you are with your writing, because I feel like we haven't talked about writing all week.
We haven't, and we didn't talk last week because we talked about the Million Lives. So yeah, it's been a minute. I had a really good writing day yesterday. I was very pleased with the paragraph I got done.
The paragraph I got done.
I actually did only get one paragraph, but it was a why are you trying to spit out your cup? Why?
No, okay, everybody missed it, but what did you I can't remember what we were saying. We got off recording last week. I took a drink and you said something that was so unhinged and random that I spit water.
Dude,
and we were like,
she actually spit like it was like, and it wasn't recorded, so like there was no. It was like I said something and it went everywhere. It was so funny.
God, because it was so funny, and I can't remember for the life of me what you said, but it was so unplanned.
I'm sure it had something to do with the with how minuscule my penis is, but so this paragraph. It did. It took me an hour to fashion it, but I was trying to. So there's this scene where some of the characters are in a very small wagon carried by a couple of mules, and they're heading towards the castle. But this storm has set in, and so the road is real muddy, and they're in the funnel of the Stone Guard, which is like this giant mountainous range on either side. So there's just giant mountain walls on either side, and just this path, and it's all muddy. And they're in this procession of all the countries coming to the castle, and they're basically just getting overtaken by all these giant chariots and all these giant wagons. They're just trying to make it there and get there in one piece. And so I started talking about how the donkeys, they ended up losing the reins. The donkeys ended up like just running, but they weren't running because they were obstinate. They were running for their lives because there was all these giant horses and the momentum was the thing that they were running from. So I started equating it to a giant boulder at the top of this mountain, where at first it's the boulder that you have to watch out for. But as it builds momentum and velocity, it ends up being the momentum and the velocity that is the danger, because it's picking all this stuff up in its wake, and it starts as one boulder, but it ends up being this army of fallen trees and boulders and all this kind of stuff.
Wow.
And so I'm equating that to what these donkeys are feeling. It's, yes, there's a bunch of giant horses and chariots around, but it's the giant system of movement that everyone is part of now. If this wagon stops, that wagon gets crushed. If that wagon, so it's just this giant piece of movement. And so then I was like, oh, that's a really good metaphor, you know. So I started molding that metaphor, and then at the end, like, it just struck me, and I was like, dude, I need to tie in a bigger overarching, like, foreshadowing into this as well. And so I started working in a way to say that, you know, once the motivations of destruction have been put in place and gain momentum, there's nothing you can do but get out of the way or run. And so I started molding that into it.
Making me
Basically,
chills.
yeah. And so it was so good, but it took a lot of layering. There was a lot of layering involved to get it right, and it was a very long paragraph. But I think that it's like a pivotal foreshadowing paragraph, because, you know, here in just a little bit, all the things that happen in the castle are going to happen, and then you can look back at that paragraph and be like, oh snap, that's the motion that was being talked about there. So
That is so exciting.
yeah, so I was really happy about it, but it took about an hour just to write that paragraph to get it right. Yeah.
Well, especially when you're when you start building it up, it's just not the surroundings that you're talking about.
Right.
It's the big picture
It
pieces
was
that
a
are,
giant big picture paragraph. Yeah.
yeah, which is such powerful
Yeah, it
paragraphs.
was so good. It was. I'm really, really happy it turned out the way it did. So
That is amazing. So, okay, tell me, we are May 15th. You have edits starting July 1st.
yeah, yeah, I do.
How are you feeling?
Not good. Not good. Lindsay. It just keeps growing. It just keeps growing, and I keep adding more words. And then last week I didn't get to write at all, which really put me in a slump. And
Oh no.
last week was bad. So I mean, it's still gonna happen. It's still gonna happen. It's just I might have to work a little harder. The thing that kills me is these times when I have to spend an hour on one paragraph, molding it and getting it just right. And anyone who I've shared my work with knows that it's a little more involved writing than just writing a paragraph, like Chelsea said, like just describing what's going on. I try to always layer it and put different
Yeah.
layers of the story into it. So it's taken a little bit, but I'm doing okay. Chelsea did cost me 500 euros.
I was gonna ask. I was like, is he
Yep.
gonna bring it up?
Yep. She is going to be the reason I'm broke. I hate her and love her. Chelsea commissioned a piece for one of her characters that just blew me away. Have you shared it with anybody yet outside of like the right?
Emran. He's the
Emran,
only one that knows.
okay. So it is a beautiful piece. She showed it to me, and I was like, okay, I've got to have it done. Iliadara is my main character, and she's she's been with me for the last 20 something years. So I commissioned a piece of Iliadara, and yeah, so I'm 500 euros poorer, 500 euros poorer, I guess. But I'm very looking forward to seeing that. Yeah.
I am so excited for you. The description that you did. First off, way better than I did, because I literally opened up a Word document on like some crazy Sunday afternoon watching a movie. And I
Yeah.
was like, what does Cassian look like? He's got these, he's got that. I think I want the dragon there. And I'm like, yeah, that looks good. He's a pirate. Okay. And I was like, here you go, dude.
Right.
And you're over here like writing an entire synopsis character, like,
Right.
I don't even know what to, like, a character novella
Yeah.
on who she is.
Well, I was just like, because I was like, I want her to get the tone of this.
She gonna get the tone.
Well, and that's what she told me. She sent it back. She's like, I love this description. I was like, well, good. I'm glad. So I wanted her to get the feel and the tone and kind of do her own interpretation of it. So I didn't want to say, do this, do that, do this, do that. I wanted to. So I gave her a scene. This is what she looks like. This is what's happening. do your thing. You're the boss. You're the artist. That kind of thing.
Well, and that's what I love. I love giving artists, like, you'll give them kind of like the framework,
Yeah,
and then you say, put your creative touch to it,
exactly. You got to.
And
Yeah.
that's what I do with my designer, my cover designer.
Yeah.
I give her the idea, the fundamentals, and then I say, good luck with it.
Yep.
Like the Dragon of Dread Deep cover.
Yeah.
I just gave her some basics, and I was like, the rest is yours to play with.
Yeah.
Because at this point, like, I trust her artistic eye.
Right. I mean,
and it's like
the reason we're hiring them is because they can do things we can't do. So
yeah, that's
you have
their
to give them,
piece.
right. You have to give them the freedom to express that, and if it comes back and like there's a piece out of place, whatever, you can always change that. But yeah, I always like to let artists just do what they do.
Same.
Yeah.
Even my map work.
Yeah.
When I was working with my illustrator, like every map she did, I was just like, here's the basics, like epic basics, because I am not an artist in that regard.
Right.
And I was just like, have fun with the compass, like the world map. I was like, you have full power. I'm like, what the maps look like.
Yeah.
Have fun with it.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yep.
So it's very fun. I already told the artist, Anna, the one we're both working with.
Yeah.
I said, I'm like, well, I think later this year I want to work with you again to bring other characters to life.
Look, if you got the funds, I don't blame you at all.
At least one. Yeah. I want to do at least one.
She's
amazing.
Yeah. She's amazing.
It would be so cool to bring Syra to life.
Yeah.
Like I have a piece done of Morai that was done by an artist I found on Upwork for $500, and I love this piece. Yeah. I mean, I basically have a shrine of him in my room, which is
awesome.
Tragically sad, I guess, and cool at the same time.
And so cool at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's a giant Canva print, and it's just like, yeah, that could be a me problem.
Yeah.
But if I love Anna's style. Like when I saw her work, I was like, that is the style I have always wanted.
Yeah.
Like it's stunning.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's realistic, it's tragic, it's emotionally powerful, it's beautiful, it's encompassing. And so yeah, like having one with Cassian and Seniela, I'm so excited to see the final results. Because I sent you the color, but it was a 3.5 minute video that she sent me.
Yeah.
The time lapse from the black and gray that I showed you to that where she was.
Yeah.
And I was just cool. Like, you are a sorceress.
Yeah.
So, but now that I have Cassian and Seniela coming along, I'm like, I need sisterhood portraits of Syra, Cyrus, and Morai. I'm like,
you got to.
God, she's going to make me broke. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Get a credit
I'm so excited for you.
Get a credit card.
So, I wonder when she's going to be done. Did she give you any hint when she was going to be done? Fine.
I didn't ask either. I don't want to look. I don't want to look down anticipating that and knowing that it's so far away. So I was just like, yep, let me.
It shouldn't be too far away because she was like, whenever she starts from like the sketch to the finished completion, she's always like, it takes about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I think mine's going to be done next week.
Dude, I can't wait.
Which I'll just throw up all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, dude. And no, I was going to get gross again, but I don't have the energy. I just don't have the energy. I don't have the energy. Let's cut it. I've been Micah.
I've been Chelsea.
Together we have been not a podcast, but something. We talk about books. Today we talked about. I gotta go have a drink. I just gotta. Thank you to Erin for joining us. I know that took bravery. I hope the conversation went well. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please please subscribe, please comment. We love that. Oh, we are at 100 subscribers now. Holla! That is fun. That is cool. And we got one of the best comments I've ever gotten. It made me feel very good. I'm sure it made Chelsea feel really good too. This is from Lost Libra 88. This is my first time watching this channel, and I feel so honored to have found it. I had this video played in the background while I was busy. It reminds me of my childhood, early mornings with the radio on, eating breakfast, drinking coffee on a rainy day, listening to my two favorite presenters on the radio bantering, having fun, and informing the public simultaneously. That's the vibe I get when I listen to this video. Absolutely love it. Thank you for a cozy, fun, informative channel. Wow. I mean, that made me feel all the warm feelies.
That's all we've ever wanted.
Yeah, that is exactly. They nailed exactly why we started this. That's exactly for no other reason than that. So thank you, Thank you for that. Thank you, everyone who subscribed that got us to 100. Please continue to subscribe, comment, like. We really appreciate it. And bye.
Bye.